Hey, Daily Dosers, this is Pastor Larry here. And this week we're taking a look at kind of a 2020 hindsight at this year called 2020. Now, I know most of us would rather not look back at it. We'd rather completely forget it. A little dose of holy amnesia would be kind of a nice thing. But the truth of the matter is there are some incredibly important lessons that have been learned during this last year. And one of them, I just want to go back to kind of a classic verse that if you've been following Jesus for a long time, you've probably heard many times, probably heard it out of context, heard it in context, claimed it for yourself, heard other people claim it. It's simply Romans chapter 8, verse 28, where the Apostle Paul he's talking about all the things that are going on and the negativity and issues that the early church is facing, he's personally facing, imprisonments, all kinds of things like that. He simply says this, and we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him, who've been called according to his purpose. Now, I want you to catch something here. It doesn't say everything is good. In fact, in the book of Isaiah, there's a statement that says, woe to those who call evil good and good evil. No, there are evil things in this fallen world. And COVID-19 and all the stuff that happened around it, that's not part of what's going to be in heaven. That's not how life would have been without the fall of Adam and Eve in the garden. The death, the separation that has taken place, the business just disasters that unfortunately, and financial disasters some of you have had to face. All of these things are a result of sin. They didn't happen before Adam and Eve. They aren't going to happen into the future. They aren't necessary for God. That's another thing about this passage. We look back at bad things, tough times, and we go, well, they were necessary. No, it doesn't say that God needs something. It said that God uses everything. And it's also got a qualifier in there for those who love him and are called according to his purpose. In other words, everything bad doesn't result in good fruit in every single life. But for those of us who've stepped over that line and are Jesus followers, we can face prison like the Apostle Paul. We can face even death. And we know this, that in every single situation, when it's all done, when it's all finished, it will work out for the glory of God. And whenever that happens, it works out for our incredible benefit. Maybe you've seen a kind of a tapestry rug before as it's being made. If you ever look at it on the loom and you're looking at the back side of it, it looks like one incredibly ugly thing. But when it's all finished and when it's turned over, what you see is something a craftsman, an artisan has made that is incredibly beautiful and incredibly valuable. And as I look back at 2020, that's kind of what I see. I see a year I'd rather forget. I see a course in life I've taken that I definitely won't sign up to take again. I want to make sure I don't fail it, so I have to take it again. But I also see a course that is part of the tapestry that God is weaving in my life and in the life of our church, in the life of our community, in the life of our nation, in the life of our world. So that when it's all said and done, those of us who love him and are called according to his purpose will look back and say, wow, he made good out of bad. As I often mention to you in sermons, the classic example of that is a day called Damnable Friday, the worst, most unjust, evil day that ever happened, that 3 days later on Sunday became Good Friday. I don't know if I'll live long enough to see this called Good COVID. But I do know this, that God is at work for those that love him and are called according to his purpose.